Sir, your voice is not coming.
Okay. I'm just sharing this one. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just
It's
waiting
okay,
for
sir.
this. Okay. You are able to see that now? Okay. I'm
Yes.
Yes, sir.
okay. Fine. I'll go to this lesson. Very important lesson, and both lessons are very important. Chapter 7 from this. Afterwards, if you have got in doubt, we can take up that. But I just want to tell each one of you that whatever, don't miss any of these classes, few classes, whatever that is there, because your exams are starting sooner. So, and it's a final examination. So, therefore, it these exams are very, very important. Okay. So, I'm going to the story now. What is the title of the story? It's a fair play. So, what is the title of the story? Fair
Fair.
play.
Fair
Uh,
play,
f-
sir.
Fair play. Okay. Now, first of all, yes, let's see here what is given here before you read. Has your best friend ever done something you thought was wrong? Are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
My
sir.
sir.
voice is clear, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. The title of this story is Fair Play. Okay, so if your best friend, if he does something wrong, how do you feel? What did you do then? What did you do then? And did you keep quiet or did you tell your friend what you thought?
We will angry of him,
Sir,
sir.
we will tell,
You must
sir.
have got very angry with him, no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
When you must have ill-treated you, you must have expected, oh, he's my best friend and he will never let you down, isn't it? But when he
Yes, sir.
lets you down, definitely you must have felt so much against him, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
story is about two friends. Okay. Now, very interesting story, this one. So here, let's see here, we had decided, now read this story about two friends who had to decide what was important, whether their friendship and enmity or a sense of what is right and what is wrong. So do they do justice? That is a question here. Now, what is fair play? Fair play, this is a phrase. This is a phrase. It has got a typical meaning there. It means fair treatment. So fair treatment, we expect, to be fair. When we say we expect to be just, that means providing fair treatment. That is what fair play means. Okay, I hope understood this phrase, fair play. So
Yes, sir.
this
Yes,
phrase,
sir.
yes,
Sir, this
it's,
chapter is also in 8th or ninth standard government high school, sir.
is it? Okay, fine. Very interesting chapter. This one, Juman Sheikh and Algu Chaudhary. One is Muslim and another one is Hindu. Both are friends. Okay, Juman Sheikh and Algu Chaudhary were good friends. So here, this particular story tells us what is very important, whether it's a friendship or it's a fair play or treating somebody with justice. So should you give importance to friendship or should you give importance to justice?
Sir,
So do you
we
want
will
Justice.
to?
give
Sir, we should
importance
give
to justice,
importance
sir.
to justice, sir.
So
Justice, sir.
yeah,
We will give
right,
importance.
very good. So strong was their bond of friendship that when either of them went away from the village, the other looked after his family. So how strong was their friendship? It was very, very strong. And when somebody went away, then the other person has looked after the family. The other person has taken care of the family. And both were greatly respected in the village. So both had lot of respect in the village. So both of them, I mean, they were treated very well, and both of them had lot of respect by the other villagers. आपको समझ में आया ना? जुम्मन शेख और अलगू चौधरी कौन थे? दोनों बहुत अच्छे फ्रेंड्स थे. दे वे वेरी क्लोज फ्रेंड्स. और उनकी जो फ्रेंडशिप थी, जो बॉन्ड था, दैट वाज क्वाइट स्ट्रॉन्ग. ओके, राइट. सो एंड बोथ हैड लॉट ऑफ रिस्पेक्ट इन द सोसाइटी और इन द विलेज. सो एवरीबडी रिस्पेक्टेड देम. सभी को मालूम था दोनों बहुत अच्छे दोस्त थे और सभी गांव वाले उनको सम्मान देते थे. So let's go to this second part. Yes, second paragraph. Jumman had an old aunt who had some property. So we are going to the first story now. Jumman's sake. So who was there? Jumman had an aunt who had property. Yes, this she transferred to him on the understanding that she would stay with him and he would look after her. So he would take care of whom? So Jumman would take care of his aunt.
Aunt.
And the property was transferred in whose name? Tell in some kanda.
Juman.
हाँ
Juman
जुम्मन शेख और अलगू चौधरी ಅವರಿಬ್ರು ಏನು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು ಸೊ ದೇ ವೇ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಐ ಗಿವ್ ಒನ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ इन कन्नड़ आई होप और हिंदी and then you will be able to understand ಸೊ दोनों एक गांव में रहते ಇಬ್ರು ಒಂದೇ ಊರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಊರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿತ್ತು ಆ ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ ಅವ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಕುಟುಂಬಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನ ಪರಿವಾರಿಗೆ ಯು ಲುಕ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದೇಮ್ ನಾವು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಆಂಟಿ ಇದ್ದವ್ರು ಆ ಆಂಟಿ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಯುನೋ ದಟ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಅವನ ಹೆಸರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಅವನ ಹೆಸರ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೊ ಶಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಶಿ ಥಾಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹಿ ವುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹರ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಏಜ್ ದಿ अरेंजमेंट वर्कड वेल फॉर अ कपल ऑफ इयर्स 2 वर्ष तक इनो प्रॉब्लम ला 2 साल के लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो गया ये बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से वो देखभाल करता था कौन देखभाल करता था जुम्मन अपनी आंटी
Sheikh.
हाँ यस ही वॉज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ हिज बुआ हिज आंटी the arrangement worked well for a couple of years then the situation changed how the situation has changed now, let's see here. Juman and his family were tired of the old relative. So this old auntie, they were taking a lot of care and they were fed up. Yes, they were fed up. Right? Uh, are you able to see that screen? Anyway, just
No, sir, we
Yes,
are
sir.
not able to see the screen. No, sir. Sir,
no,
we
no,
are
there,
not
Now,
able to
there's
screen the screen. No, sir, we are
okay.
not able to see the screen, sir. No,
yes,
sir.
sir.
No, sir, it is not coming, sir. No, sir, it
Now
is
it
not
is coming,
coming.
sir.
No, sir,
Now
it is
coming.
yes, sir, now coming, sir. No, sir.
Now it came, sir.
Okay. Then the
Yes, sir, now.
situation changed. So the situation changed in the sense, till this time, he was taking care of the aunt. But now what has happened? The situation changed. That means
Sir.
now he was not taking care of the. Yes. My voice, are you able to hear?
Yes, sir. You are
Sir.
audible, sir.
Yes,
You
sir.
are able to hear. Okay.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So I could see that good number of you have joined. I'm very happy, 38. But why suddenly the number has gone down? I'm not able to understand. Okay. Earlier the number was very good, but now I can see only 38 boys have joined. Okay. Juman and his family were tired of the old relative. So they were fed up and now they were not taking care of her. Juman became as indifferent to her as his wife. So both of them became indifferent, means they were not taking interest in her, they were not taking care of her. So they became indifferent. Okay. So this is how the situation has changed. How the situation has changed? Now they were not taking care of his aunt. So that's why they were not taking care of the aunt. So that is the reason why she was also very unhappy. Now, who grudged even the little food? So his, wife was even, telling about that she was feeling very angry, even for little food also, that the old lady wanted every day. She swallowed these insults. So for some days, along with her food, for few months, she kept quiet. She tolerated all that. Yes. So they were not taking care of their, yes, their aunt. But patience has its limits. So here, can you see in this picture? You can see the picture aunt and
Yes, sir.
Juman and his wife. One
Sir.
day she spoke to Juman. So one day what she told Juman, my son, it is now obvious that I'm not wanted in your house. I can understand that. It is quite clear that you are not going to take care of me now. And remember that what aunt had done, she had transferred her property in Juman's name, thinking that Juman would take care of her in her old age. But now what Juman was doing, Juman and wife, they were not taking care of, yes, aunt. ಸೊ ಜುಮ್ಮನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಇಬ್ರು ಆ ಆಂಟಿದ್ ಕೇರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫುಡ್ ಕೊಡದಿದ್ರು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಮೈ ಸನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನೌ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಯು ಹೌಸ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾ ಇರುವುದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಿಲ್ಲ. Kindly give me a monthly allowance. So give me some, allowance, some money every month so that I can set up a separate kitchen. So ನಾನು ಸೆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ವಾಗಿ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಮೈ अपना एक अपना कुछ न कुछ मैं अकेली रहूंगी. So she wanted some allowance. She wanted some money. So what does she want? She wanted some money from the, yes, from whom? From Juman. My wife knows best how to run the house. Be patient. So Juman said very shamelessly. He said, my wife knows how to run the house. Yes, and you be patient. What she's doing is the right thing. This made his aunt very angry and she decided to take her case to the village panchayat. So here this part is very important here. What she has done, she has thought that okay, now Juman is not ready to listen to her. He is not going to give a monthly allowance. So that's why she says that I will take up this case to the village panchayat. For many days, the old lady was seen talking to the villagers, explaining her case and seeking their support. So she was talking to the villagers, गांव वालों से वो बात कर रही थी, उनका सपोर्ट लेना चाहती थी, and she was explaining the case. Okay, some sympathized with her, others laughed at her. So how were the reactions of these? The some of I mean many of them they sympathized with her, but there were many others who were laughing at her, and a few others advised her
My school.
to make it up with her nephew and his wife. So you better make it up, you better patch up, you stop quarreling with them and have a sort of agreement. So this is what was the advice given by many others. At last, she came to Olga Chaudhary and spoke to him. You know, Chachi. Now she has come to Olga Chaudhary. And who was Olga Chaudhary? Olga Chaudhary was a very close friend of Juman Singh.
Sir,
You know,
Juman.
Juman.
Chachi, Juman is my best friend. How can I go against him? See, Juman is my very good friend, very close friend. I can't go against him. But is it right, my son, to keep mum and not say what you consider just and fair? Is it right to keep quiet? And what is just, what is fair? What is justice? Should you not consider that? And who pleaded? The old lady pleaded. She went on requesting. वो उसके उसको रिक्वेस्ट कर रही थी कि देखो जो भी फेयर है दैट शुड बी द राइट थिंग. ಯಾವುದು ನ್ಯಾಯವಾಗಿ ಇದೆ ಅದು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನೀನ್ ಬರೀ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಈ ರೀತಿಲಿ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಜುಮ್ಮಂದ ಆಂಟಿ ಹೇಳಿದಾಳೆ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಅಲ್ಗುಗೆ. ಅಲ್ಗು ಹೇಳ್ದ ನಾನು ಅವನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹ್ಯಾಂಗೆ ಜುಮ್ಮನ್ ಅಗೇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು? ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಮೈ ಸನ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಮಮ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಕ್ವೈಟ್ and not say what you consider just and fair? So this is how the old lady was pleading. Okay, so come to the panchayat and speak the truth. So she said, you come to the panchayat and you speak the truth. Algu didn't reply, but her words kept ringing in his ears. And what she was telling, what were ringing in his, see, you may be his best friend, but what you consider just, you shouldn't say that, what you consider just and fair. Okay. So in the first part, what has happened, we have seen that Algu and Juman were very close friends. And Juman's aunt transferred the property in the name of Juman, and she expected that he would take care of her. And then after, I mean, for a couple of years there was no problem at all. But after 2 years, what happened? Juman and his wife they started ill treating her. Even for a little food also, they started complaining. And then she said that yes, you better give me monthly allowance. Then after that, what was the reply of Juman? He said that yes, we know how to treat you, we know how to take care of you. And then she started approaching the villagers. She told Algu also, and she said that anyway, you come to Panchayat and speak the truth. What is right? Don't you stand with that? What is justice? Should you not stand with that? This is what Juman's aunt told Algu. So let's go to the second part of the story. The panchayat was held the same evening under an old banyan tree, and Juman stood up and said, "The voice of the Panch is the voice of God. So whatever the Panch decides, actually there, it's a God who is speaking there. Because the Panch stands for justice. Let my, so here, let my aunt nominate the head Panch. So let my aunt nominate anybody. Let her give anybody's name. I will abide by her decision. I will accept that. So let her mention any name and I will accept that. Yes, Mrinal joined very late. Okay. The punch knows neither friend nor enemy. What do you say to Algu Chaudhary? So she says, the old lady announced, the punch knows neither friend nor enemy. Once he's a judge, he will have neither friend nor enemy. Fine, replied Juman, hiding his joy over this unexpected piece of luck. And he was laughing over that. He was feeling, somehow he was not able to control his laughter. But he said, fine. And Chachi, you are aware my friendship with Juman. Algu said, yes, yes. Somebody wants to say something. Chachi
Sir,
was.
any cadet has joined, then he was telling you good morning.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay. Right. Okay. I know that, replied the aunt. Aunt said, what did she say? I know that. But I also know that you will not kill your conscience for the sake of friendship. अभी कॉन्शियस किसके लिए हम बोलते हैं? हमारे अंदर एक विवेक बुद्धि रहती है. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿವೇಕ್ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ವಿವೇಕ ಇದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದು ಏಗಳು ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅದೇ ನೋಡ್ತದೆ. What is right, what is wrong, that it knows. That is conscious. Where is it? We say that it is residing in our heart and it tells us what is right, what is wrong. जिसको हम हिंदी में विवेक बुद्धि बोलते हैं. Okay, so here he says you have got a conscious. What is right, what is wrong, you can understand that. Just because of your friendship, yes, don't kill your conscious. And is and he says God lives in the heart of the punch. Who is there in the yes, in the heart of the punch? It's a God. And it's a God who will be giving the justice. And his voice is the voice of God. And whatever the punch speaks, whatever the judge speaks, once he sits there in the seat of the judge, it is the God's speech. Okay. And the old lady explained her case. Juman, Algu said, you and I are old friends. Algu said, Juman, you and I are old friends. Your aunt is as dear to me as you. Now I am a punch. Now I am a judge. You and your aunt are equal before me. What have you to say in your defense? Actually, Juman was very happy because he knew that his friend would never go against him. But now Algu, what does he say? I am a judge now. ಅಲ್ಗು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ? ನಾನು ಪಂಚ್ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ನಾನು ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನನಗೆ ನೀನ್ ಆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಲಿ ನೀ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ರು ಈಕ್ವಲ್, ಇಬ್ರು ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನೀಗ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಒಬ್ರು ಪಂಚ್ ಆ ಪಂಚ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂತ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡುವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಎನಿಮಿ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಏನು ನೋಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗಾಡ್. ಪಂಚ ಆಗಿರ ಮೇಲೆ, ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವರೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅವ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅದು ದೇವರಿನ ಮಾತು ಇರ್ತದೆ. सो दिस इज जो भी वो बात करेगा वो भगवान की बात रहती है, क्योंकि उसके दिल से जो भी बात आ जाएगी, जो जज रहता है वो भगवान की बात आ जाती है. So this is how who says, this is what Algu says. Yes, he says that because he has become a punch now, and he says that both are equal before me now. So 3 years ago, then Juman now starts telling about that. 3 years ago, ಮೂರು ವರ್ಷ ಮುಂಚೆ, 3 साल के पहले, my aunt transferred her property to me. What has happened? Aunt has transferred property in my name. So ಅವನು ಏನು ಸಂಪತ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಳೆ ಆಂಟ್. I promised to support her as long as she lived. As long as she lived, I would support her. I have done all I could. I have supported her. I have done everything. There have been a couple of quarrels between my wife and her, but I can't stop it. So sometimes they have quarreled. They have fought. Quarrel means what? Fight. So who has fought? My wife and my aunt both have fought. And I can't stop that quarrel. Now my aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from me. And what is she demanding? She is demanding allowance. She is demanding every month some money to be given to aunt. ಸೊ ಅವಳು ಆಂಟಿ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ? ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನಂಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಈಗ ನಾನು ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ aunt feels. Aunt says, this is not possible. That's all I have to say. So Juman says, I cannot provide her monthly allowance. Yes, there has been a couple of fights with my wife, but just because of that, I can't provide her a monthly allowance. This is what Juman says. Now let's see what Juman was cross-examined by Algo and others. Then Algo announced, we have gone into the matter carefully in our opinion. So Algu has now given the judgment. What does he say? Juman must pay his aunt a monthly allowance, or else the property goes back to her. So you see here, he has given the judgment. Who has given the judgment? Algu has given the judgment. What is that? That Juman must provide aunt a monthly allowance. ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಒಂದು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು? ಆಂಟಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು? ಜುಮ್ಮನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಾರೆ ऑन प्रॉपर्टी दे जो भी संपत्ति है को किसको जाएगी? आंट को जाएगी. क्योंकि आंट ने अपने अपनी नाम पे जो भी प्रॉपर्टी है किसके नाम पे कर दी थी? जुम्मन के नाम पे कर दी थी. So now you see, this was never expected by Juman. Juman never thought that Algo would like that. Now the two friends were seldom seen together. They were rarely seen together. ಇಬ್ರು ಜನ ಈಗ ಏನಾಗಿದ್ರು? They were friends. Algo and Juman were friends. They became enemies. The bond of friendship between them was broken. What has happened? The bond they had of friendship that was broken. So they were no more friends. Juman was Algo's enemy and he wanted his revenge. ಸೊ ಹಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ರಿವೆಂಜ್. ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಈಗ? ಜುಮ್ಮನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಗು ಇಬ್ರು ಎನಿಮಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ರಿವೆಂಜ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಥರ್ಡ್. Okay, so we are moving on to the third part now. Now let's see here whether there was an opportunity for him to take yes, revenge. Now tight spot, difficult situation. So days passed. You know what has happened? Okay, so days passed. Now those were very good friends, they had become enemies. ಯಾರು ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರು ಈಗ ಏನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಎನಿಮೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಮಿತ್ರ ಇದ್ರು ಅವರು ಶತ್ರು ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. जो मित्र थे, जो दोस्त थे, अभी क्या बन गए? वो शत्रु दुश्मन बन गए, एक दूसरे के दुश्मन बन गए. Days passed, and as ill luck would have it, as it was a bad luck, Algu Chaudhary found himself in a tight spot. So he found himself in a very difficult situation. Who has found himself in a difficult situation? Algu Chaudhary found himself in a difficult situation. So what was that difficult situation? Let's hear. One of his fine pair of bullocks died. So one bullock died. So one more was there. And what did he do? He sold the other bullock to Samju Sahu, who was a cart driver of the village. So there in the village there was a cart driver. So what he has done, he has sold his bullock to the cart driver because one bullock that he had that died. So now he has sold it, that bullock, one bullock which was remaining, because he can do nothing in the field. So that is the reason why he has sold it to cart driver. So bullock cart. So the here, what is the name of him? Samju Sahu. So you can remember Sahu. The understanding was that Sahu would pay the price of the bullock in a month's time. So Saul did not have the money, ready money. So he said that, okay, within 1 month's time, I will pay you back the price of the bullock. It so happened that the bullock died within a month. So another bullock which was there, which he had sold it to Saul, that also died within a month. So this is how who was caught in a difficult situation. Algu Chaudhary was caught in a difficult situation. Why? Because the second bullock which Algo had sold it to Sau. Sau, what I mean, they had made an agreement. What was the agreement? That within a month he would pay back the money, but he had not paid back the money. Several months after the bullock's death, Algo reminded Sau of the money he hadn't yet paid. So many months passed, but Sau did not pay money to Algo. Sau got very annoyed. Sau got very irritated. I can't pay you a penny for the wretched beast you sold me. He said, see, the beast that you sold me, the bullock that you sold me, that was in miserable condition. I can't give you even a penny. And why are you asking me? He brought us nothing. Yes, he brought us nothing but ruin. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಸಾವು ಅವನ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ಗು ಹತ್ರ ಎರಡು ಬುಲಕ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಒಂದ್ ಬುಲಕ್ ಒಂದು ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅದು ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಬುಲಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಫಾರ್ ಬುಲಕ್ ಎಸ್ ಬುಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್
ಸರ್ ಎತ್ತು ಸರ್ ಎತ್ತು.
ಹಾ
Etto,
ಎತ್ತು
etto.
ಹಾ ಒಂದ್ ಎತ್ತು ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಯ್ತು ಒಂದ್ ಎತ್ತು ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎತ್ತು ಇತ್ತು ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ ನಾವು
Sir, please
ನಾವು
tell
ದ್ಯಾಟ್
in
ಈ
English,
ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್
sir.
ಟು ಸಾವು ಸಾವುಗೆ ಅವ ಮಾರಿದ ಸಾವುಗೆ ಮಾರಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ರೆಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲ
English,
so
sir.
it many months have passed isn't it and he says that that bullock has brought only what ruin. I have a bullock, use it for a month and then return it to me. I have one bullock. If you want, you can take that, use it that, and you return that. No money for the dead bullock, he said angrily. So who said like this? Yes, Sahu said like this. Ah, now Algu decided to refer the case to the panchayat. See, now Algu is in a tight spot. He is in a difficult situation. For a second time in a few months, preparations for holding the panchayat were made. See, earlier panchayat was there. For whom? For Juman's aunt. Yes, and Juman was accused now. Now Algu has gone to the panchayat now. Preparations were made for holding the panchayat, and both the parties started meeting people seeking their support. So what was going to be held? Panchayat was going to be held. Algu, he started meeting the villagers to gather the support. Sau, he started meeting the villagers to gather the support. Both tried to gather the support. The panchayat was held under the old banyan tree. Algu stood up and said, the voice of the पंच is the voice of God. जो भी पंच रहेगा और जो भी पंच बोलेगा वो भगवान की वाणी बोलेगा. जो पंच की वाणी रहेगी वो भगवान की वाणी रहेगी. ಪಂಚ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅದು ದೇವರೇ ದೇವ್ರದೇ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ದೇವರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚ ಕೂಡ ಭಾಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಗು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾವು ಇಬ್ರು ಈಗ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಲೆಟ್ ಸಾವು ನಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ದ ಹೆಡ್ ಪಂಚ್ ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಗು ಸೇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಸಾವು ನಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ದ ಹೆಡ್ ಪಂಚ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಅಬೈಡ್ ಬೈ ಹಿಸ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಸೊ ಸಾವು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅವ್ರು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ and I will abide by means I will support that decision. I will go with that decision. I will follow that decision. I will abide by his decision. This is what who says? Yes, this is what Algo says. Saul saw a chance. Saul knew that Juman is his enemy. Whose enemy? Algu's enemy. And he proposed the name of Juman. Algu's heart sank. He knew, yes, he was his enemy. And suddenly he felt hurt. He turned pale, colorless, face turned pale. ಮುಖ ಸಣ್ಣದಾಯ್ತು ಬೇಜಾರಾಯ್ತು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಜಾರಾಯ್ತು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಎಸ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಗೂಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಈ ಟರ್ನ್ ಪೇಲ್
ಸರ್
ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕುಡ್ ಈ ಡೂ ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಟೆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಎಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ನೌ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ Yes, and it's a lunchtime, isn't it?
He's enemy, sir.
Right. Let's move on to the next now. The moment Juman became head punch, he realized his responsibility as judge. So the moment Juman became head punch, punch ಆಗಿರ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಅವನ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ. Yes, he realized his responsibility. Okay, and the dignity of his office and the dignity. The I mean, one has to keep the respect for the office, for the dignity of the office, honor of the office. Dignity here, honor of the office. So ಯಾರು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೋತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ आगोदिಲ್ಲ एआर ಮೇಲೆ जो न्याय देने वाले रहते हैं ना जो न्यायाधीश के चेयर में बैठेंगे वो किसी के ऊपर अन्याय नहीं कर सकते और वो बात जुम्मन को समझ में आ गई जब वो न्याय देने के लिए पंच बन गया then he realized that could he seated in that high place have his revenge now can he take the revenge now suddenly he started thinking over it he thought and thought so this thought started going in his mind. Can he take revenge now he is now judge how can he take the revenge no he must not yes he's realizing that he must not allow his personal feelings to come in the way of speaking the truth and doing justice. So he felt that what he has to do. ಅವ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕೀಗ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬೇರೆ ಅವ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅದು ಟ್ರೂತ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಸತ್ಯ ಇರಬೇಕು ಯಾ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶ ಮುಖದಿಂದ ಏನು ಬರ್ತದೆ ಬರೀ ಸತ್ಯ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಯು ಹವ್ ಸೀನ್ ದ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ of justice. What is the symbol of a lady? Blindfolded lady. No, her eyes are covered. So she will never do injustice to anybody. So that is what is a symbol. Okay. So both Algu and Sau stated their cases. So both of them they started telling about their cases. Algu told about his case, then Sau also defended his case. They were cross-examined and the case was considered deeply. So they thought it in depth. Then Juman stood up and announced. So Juman has given the announcement now. He has given his opinion. It is our opinion that Sao should pay Algu the price of the bullock. Who should pay? Sao should pay. See here, Juman realizes his responsibility as a judge and he says that it is our opinion that Sao should pay Algu the price of the bullock. When Sao bought the bullock, it suffered from no disability or disease. So when he has bought that bullock, there was no problem at all. Yes, it had not suffered from any disability or disease. The death of the bullock was unfortunate. So it was, I mean, he was unlucky. So it was very unfortunate on his part. But Algo cannot be blamed for it. So Algo never knew that, yes, it was suffering. And Algo could not contain his feelings. So he could not, and now Algo suddenly feels very emotional. He stood up and said loudly, over and over again, victory to the Panchayat. This is justice. Idu Nyaya ide. And what does he say? God lives in the voice of the punch. ದೇವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ದೇವ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಪಂಚ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದೇವ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ soon after Juman came to Algu, embraced him. What did he do? He hugged him, he embraced him and said, since the last panchayat I had become your enemy. Today I realize what it meant to be a punch. ಒಬ್ಬ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂತ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಂಗ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ बदलावने ಆಗ್ತದೆ जो न्याय देने के लिए बैठते हैं ना उनमें जो बदलाव आ जाता है जब न्याय न्याय की बात आ जाती है तभी वो अन्याय किसी के ऊपर नहीं कर सकते A punch has no friend nor enemy. He knows only justice. So the one who is a punch, he cannot do any injustice. He knows only justice. Let no one deviate. Let no one go away from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity. So one has to be on the path of truth. One has to be on the path of justice. Algu embraced his friend and wept and he started crying. His tears washed away all the dirt of misunderstanding between them. And whatever the tears that he was shedding, that took away all the dirt of misunderstanding between them. And this is a story written by Premchand. In which language? It was written in Hindi And now you are ready in English. Okay. So let's discuss the question answers on this. Yes, my dear boys, are you awake? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. Let's
Yes,
go to
sir.
the question answers. Ah,
Very interesting. Sorry, sir.
very interesting story. Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine.
Sir.
Yes. Okay. Now let's go to the question answers. Okay. Let's see whether you can give the answers. This is a chapter, very important chapter for this final exam. Yes, final match is there, no, for you. Final. Finals are going to be there. And next,
Final, sir. Championship is going on, sir. Now.
championship is going on. IPL, IPL auctioning is over, but our finals have come now. Okay, so soon,
Yes, sir.
right? Let's go. Let's go to this question and let's discuss. Okay, this is a very important chapter. That's why let's discuss about this. Right? Jumman and Algo were the best of friends. Can you give the answer for this? You have to match. Okay, Jumman and Algu were the best of friends. So what will be the answer for
Sir,
this? So you see the options here. Right.
sir, one is for three. One is for three.
One is for three. In the absence of one, the other took care of his family. Very good. So when very good.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
1:3. 1:3, sir.
1 to 3. Then Jumman's aunt transferred the property to him.
2 is for 1, sir.
2 is for 1. He believed that his friend. No, no, no. It is not that.
He believes
Jumman's
that
aunt
his
transferred the
friend would.
property to
4,
him.
sir.
4. The condition was
Yes,
that
sir.
he would
4,
be
sir.
responsible for her welfare. Right. The aunt decided to appeal to the panchayat.
Sir, please wanted justice. 2, sir.
She
3 2,
wanted
sir.
justice.
He
Okay,
wanted
same.
justice, sir. He
Okay.
wanted
Algu was
justice.
unwilling to support the aunt. Why Algu was not ready to support the aunt?
Sir, 4:1, sir.
He believed that his friend would never
And
go
he believed
against him.
that his friend will against
Which
him. No,
one?
sir.
I think 4 is to 1 or
Sir,
4 is to
Yes,
5.
sir. 4:1, sir.
4:5, sir. One.
I think the bond of friendship between him and Juman was very strong.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hi, sir.
Believe that. And let's see, fifth one. Juman was very happy to hear Algu's name as head punch. And fifth one, that it's a first one. So fourth one is fifth one, and fifth one is first one. He believed that.
Yes, sir.
So Juman was very happy because he believed that his friend would never go against him. So for fifth,
Yes, sir.
first one. Okay, rather than this kind of question will not appear in the exam, but we have seen that so that yes, but C is very important here. So who says this
The
for you?
first
You
one.
can just find out.
So the
My
first one
wife
is
knows
Juman
best
said
how to
to his
run the
aunt.
house.
So Juman said to his aunt.
Okay.
Juman to
Second
aunt,
one,
sir.
what is
Juman
it
to
like,
aunt.
my son, to keep mom
So the
and not
aunt
say
to Algu, sir.
Algo?
Aunt to
Okay.
Algu.
What have you to say in your defense?
Sir,
What
Algu to
was?
Juman. Sir, Algu
Okay.
to Juman.
Okay. Fourth one, I can't pay you a penny for the wretched beast you sold
Sir,
me.
Sahu to Algu. Sahu to
Very
Algu.
good. Sao, you remember his character also. Victory to the panchayat. This is justice. At the end, who says?
Sir,
Sir,
Algu to
I'll go to
everyone.
what?
Algu to
I'll go
everyone.
to everyone,
Algo
sir.
says, isn't it? Okay,
I'll
fine.
go to everyone, sir.
Okay, let's see this. This is very important. See, then the
Yes, sir.
situation changed. What is being referred to? Now, this answer you'll find in the second paragraph. The situation changed. What was that situation?
So the situation was when the aunt transferred Juman her property,
No,
but when
no, no. Your situation is that Jumman was not taking care of aunt.
Yes, sir. Juman was not taking care of his aunt, sir. Even
Earlier he
after
was
getting the
taking care of
property,
aunt,
was not
but
taking care of his aunt.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Now, when Jumman's aunt realized that she was not welcome in his house, what arrangement did she suggest? What did she demand?
She
she asked
suggested
for a
that
monthly allowance.
Juman should
Very
give
good.
her
Monthly
a monthly
allowance. Very good.
allowance
She
and she can
demanded
set
monthly
up a
allowance.
separate kitchen.
Right, right.
Problem.
Okay, very good.
Sir,
Okay, what was the villagers' reaction when the aunt explained her case to them?
so
What
some
was it?
said
Some of them supported her,
some of them
on her, sir,
supported her,
but
some of them said
advised her some of them laughed and others advised her to make it up with her nephew and his wife.
Okay, very good. Okay, why was Jumman happy over Algu's nomination as head punch?
because he thought that
Because he thought that Algu would never go against him.
Right. He believed that. He thought
he
that.
was
Very good.
friend.
Yes. Now, God lives in the heart of the punch, the aunt said. What did she mean by that?
She said that the punch would never go against
Ah,
justice.
he would be always standing for justice, right? He would
Yes, sir.
never do injustice. What was
Yes, sir.
Algu's verdict as head punch? What was Algu's verdict? What was his judgment?
He said that Juman should take care of his aunt, otherwise the property will be sent back to her.
And
Given
how
back
did
to her.
Juman take it? So Juman was very
Should
angry,
take
isn't
care
it?
of his
Jumanji
aunt,
pays monthly allowance.
Right. That was the
pay
verdict.
monthly allowance
Uh, okay, but Juman take it in the sense he was very angry with this verdict, isn't it?
because his friend went against him. He
Ah,
became they both became enemies.
okay, right. Algo found himself in a tight spot. What was his problem? Now Algo found himself in a tight spot. What was that
When
problem?
Algo had sold his bullock to Sahu, the
Ah,
bullock died in a month. So
within a
Sahu
month, isn't it?
was not giving Algo's money back.
Ah, Saud did not pay him.
The
Yes.
money back to Algo.
Yes. So Algo found himself in a tight spot. It is referring to that the bullock. I mean, here it is referring to what? One bullock died. Yes, it is
Yes,
referring to that, isn't it?
yes,
Right?
sir.
Question. Right. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay. All right. What is the next question? Why was Algo upset over Jumman's nomination as head punch? Why he was upset?
Because they both were enemies, and
Ah,
he thought that
He knew
Juman
that Juman would go against him.
would tell
Algo
Sahu
knew
not to
that
pay the money.
Juman will go against him.
okay, fine. So next question, what is that next question? What was Jumman's verdict as head punch? Yes, how did Algo
Juman
take it?
said that Sahu should give the money to Algo, as the bullock did not have any disability or disease when it was sold to Sahu.
Okay, last question. What is the answer for that last one? Yes,
Which of the
last
following
one.
sums up the story best? I also know that you will not
Which
kill
one
your
will be the
Second
son.
right?
one.
One side for
Yes,
the
Second
sake of
one.
friendship.
third one will be the
Second
right
one.
one.
Second
The
one.
Let
voice
no
of the
one
punch is
deviate
the
the path
voice
of
of the
justice and truth to friendship or enmity. Second one, sir.
second one or third one.
The second one.
It's a third one. Okay, the voice of the
Yes, sir.
punch is
Third
the
one, sir. Third
voice
one,
of
sir.
God. Okay, right? Let no one
Yes, sir.
deviate from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity. That's fine. But here, which of the following sums up the story best? The
Yes, sir.
voice
The
of the
voice
punch
of punch is
is
the voice of God,
actually
sir.
the most appropriate is the third one because here the one